Welcome back to Science Rocks. We're here at Gulfport Elementary, where the STEM Academy students have been learning about coding, and they've developed a way to put their knowledge into action.
The robots that the kids used, they built them. We had a kit of just parts. So we had the kit, we had the iPad that gave them the online directions, so they went through the iPad and built them themselves. Then they had to go through and learn all the coding steps in the program, the MBOT Ranger program. So they followed all those steps. And then we started racing, and the kids wanted to have a big competition on it. So this was the end result of the competition.
So STEM, I would recommend it for all students. Students can learn how to code and do real-world problems with engineering. And I think it is just a great club, great thing to get your child into. And in STEM, I learned how to program a figure on the computer by coding. And that was super fun and a great learning activity. And I also learned how to make a robot, engineer it. And we faced many problems, but we just figured out what was wrong and tried it all over again.
Are you guys ready? Do you have to think again? With these intricate tools, some of the kids would get frustrated. And they have team building skills that they did not have before. They would be very individualized, and I'm gonna do it and take over. So they would start problem solving, and then they learned teamwork skills. Then they divided the task into coding and driving. So with the coding, we went on Hour of Code, and they learned debugging, and we really went through the vocabulary and the engineering design process and the two just tie in so well together. And then of course we had to have our science standard, so this is Nature of Science, 5th grade science standard, tying in that they're able to persevere and figure out problems. Not only figure them out, but identify, this is where I'm having my problem. And I saw the teams just getting along so well, especially when some of the robots would just start going around in circles. It was kind of funny, but the driver did not get frustrated. She just worked it out. The team, they weren't yelling at her at all. They were just encouraging, come on, you can do it, you can do it. So just the fact that they were working together for the single goal was a huge accomplishment for them. The coders, when it didn't go right, nobody got mad, nobody got frustrated, everybody seemed to be having a good time, which was the point of this, to the end game, have a good time and learn and cooperate. Go. So the big thing I hope they come out with is an understanding that problems arise. Problems will arise. Plan for the problem, don't get frustrated, and solve it. We went through troubleshooting. We had a whole day where we just talked about what are all the problems that could happen. And so many of them happen today, but they planned for it. They knew, okay, this could happen. And it doesn't mean I did anything wrong, it just happened.
It was fun. It was exciting and kind of nervous because I didn't know what we were going to be at last place. At the end, I was happy because we were in first place. I learned that, it doesn't really matter, what place you is. It's just that you accomplished it and you reached the finish line.
Oh, almost, back it up. There you go. Well, with the Boca Ciega team, our kids have been invited to their home robotics meets. I think it's important to have a bridge so the kids can understand what I'm doing here to what does it look like in the future. The kids that really love doing this, they want to know, well, what will it look like in the next phase?
It's important for my robotics team for Boca Ciega to reach out to other schools. It's important to keep the field growing, and the next generation is our future.
Well, we couldn't, first off, without the outside support, without the parents committing to being here for their children and to drive to school. I mean, so many of these kids are bus riders. But the parents have said, I'm going to commit to pick up my child at 4 o'clock. Some of the parents come up during our STEM club just to see what's going on. Or they help their kids at home because we do Hour of Code at home. So that helps the children know that this is important.
She comes home excited every day about every time they have STEM. She talks about how she interacts with the kids and how they're working on coding things, the interactions that she has in terms of cooperating with other kids, figuring things out, learning how to sort of persevere through the trouble that they encounter.
I liked the Hour of Coding. It was fun and educational. And it was a good bonding experience to meet other people who were interested in the same things I was into.
The other support that we have is from Duke Energy. And if it wasn't for their support with the Title I schools, that they buy our shirts, they buy the robots, they pay for our snacks. If it wasn't for that, our Title I kids might not be exposed to these things.
Thank you, Duke Energy!
I would tell them it's a great club to sign up for if your school is doing it. It's very fun. You should probably tell your friends if you sign up. And yeah.
So you can see, our students really love the STEM Academies, and they'll be showcasing their projects at the 6th Annual STEM Expo coming up in April. I'll tell you more about that later in our show. Coming up next, we see how our 4th grade teachers are learning about a new mobile app curriculum for our after-school STEM Academies. Science Rocks rolls on in a moment.